Hey everyone, we are specialists of nothing who talk about everything and anything. My name is Frank, and I'm here with my two boys, Danny and Joe.
What
How you guys?
up?
What's up? What's up?
The double what's up, as
The
usual.
double. What's up?
No, I was a fan
Let
of the
me get the
last time.
papers. Get the papers.
I was a fan of the last time. He's like, yeah, they'll answer you real quick, Joe. All right, so tonight's topic is cancel culture. For everyone that doesn't know exactly what cancel culture
We're
is,
canceling you.
We just started. We can't get canceled. It's too early in our career.
I
Who
really
cares
didn't.
what the people want?
I really didn't even know what this was until they had to explain this to me. But so cancel culture is a modern form of ostracism, in which someone or something is thrusted out of a social or professional circles, whether online, social media, or in person. Those who are subject to this are known as canceled. Ostracism is an exclusion from a society or group. Uh,
Ostracism.
or I'm sorry,
Ostracism. Ostracism.
Ostracism.
that's how much I know about this.
Ostracism.
He's reading from the dictionary. Leave him
Cancel culture refers to the popular practice of withdrawing support for public figures and companies after they have done or said something considered to be objectionable or offensive. Um, so yeah, basically,
boycotting,
I say
basically.
basically people that are
Yeah.
boycotting or
Dismissing
dismissing
something or someone or an idea, something
or
like
someone. Yeah,
that. That's pretty fucked up, I gotta say. I mean, given that it's like 2021, you would think people would have evolved and not been so offended by so many
We're
things.
just getting worse.
Yeah,
Everything's
especially
just going downhill deeper,
100%.
below the surface, far.
It's
I,
like, listen, at this
I agree with
point,
you, Danny, though, because people grew up on like Dave Chappelle and Saturday Night Live. Like, why are they so
listen,
sensitive now?
we'll get into that. No, you know what? Let's start with that. As a kid, I grew up when MTV didn't play real, like what is it, reality TV. It was a lot of music videos. Occasionally they would have like Beavis and
TRL.
Butthead. Beavis and Butthead. TRL was good too, yeah. But they had Beavis and Butthead, which is pretty raunchy. Ren and Stimpy, which was extremely raunchy. They had like Animaniacs, shit like that.
Johnny
like
Bravo. Johnny
Oh,
Bravo was
that was
hitting
all,
on
like,
ladies
nighttime,
and
right?
treating women like,
objectifying them, yeah.
Oh wait, Johnny
Um,
Bravo was Cartoon Network, no?
It was, yeah, but I mean,
Alright.
it's still in the whole thing, I guess.
Yeah.
But even that, like, I remember Beavis and I was young and I wasn't too into Beavis and Butthead, but I had like older friends or like my uncles would watch it because it's fun. It was like a little bit of rock, a little bit of the music videos, and then it had Beavis and Butthead episodes. The movie was hilarious. I love the movie.
I loved Beavis and Butthead, the show. I was a big watcher.
wasn't a big Beavis and Butthead guy.
Wasn't
Oh.
huge on it, but I did enjoy it. But something that I did enjoy that I still do to this day, which I'm surprised that is not canceled yet, is South Park. South Park is one of the greatest TV shows. I remember the first episode of South Park I've ever watched was Mr. Hanky the Christmas Pooh. You remember that?
Yeah.
You guys
I
remember
think
that
they
shit?
did get canceled. They just don't know it yet, and I don't think they give a shit.
No,
It's-
they have
somehow
such a
they're still
strong
pushing
following.
through.
They have such a strong following because exactly they've been around for so long and they've always kept it to that. Like they've always been that show. So it's not like they ever changed it up. A lot of the people I feel like now that because like I said, I didn't really know about this, but since you guys have told me and now like looking up a lot of stuff and seeing a lot of the stuff, a lot of the people that got canceled were someone where like they were found out for doing something or some like saying or doing something that was against their norm. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
South Park always kept it there. It was always, you know what I mean?
that's true. And that they teeter on that line of racy or like, is this appropriate? But they do it anyway. And what's crazy is that's all done in stop motion. So it's all like they're cutting those. I mean, it's probably computerized now, but for the most part, it's like cut and paste, click a scene, cut and paste, click a scene. And they do that. And it's first of all, just the way they do it is pretty amazing. I have an appreciation for it because I have an art background and shit. But even Family Guy
Family Guy's another
has
one. Oh my
so many
goodness.
edgy episodes where it's hilarious, but that's what comedy is,
Mhm.
Like comedy is supposed not that it's supposed fuck it. Comedy is supposed to be racy and edgy because that's like, oh shit, can I laugh at this? Because I want to laugh internally, but I guess all right, if everybody else is laughing, I'll laugh. It's okay.
No, yeah,
And like
to
you
me,
said
a
with Dave
comedian,
Chappelle.
well, sorry, but yeah, to me, a comedian, especially a raw comedian, is exactly they're supposed to say things that people think but are too scared to say. They are the voice for people that like most groups oh, this is like,
That's
'cause
one of the best. That's one of the biggest topics to joke about for
yeah,
a
yeah,
comedian.
because like
Are those topics that it's so
stereotypes.
sensitive to everybody that you think
Mhm.
it, but you don't want to be the one to say it. So why not
Mhm.
fucking joke about it?
Yep, that's why like I was that the word I was looking for was stereotypes. A lot of comedians
Yeah.
like joke about a lot of stereotypes and stuff like that because exactly like it's stuff that like you might not always say in every situation or something like
But
that, but
everyone's
you
thinking
think
it,
about it.
of
Exactly.
course. So it's pretty fucked up though, because like now for comedy, that's gonna take a huge change. But do they have to like censor what they say now in order to be like not canceled or to be socially appropriate, politically correct? Everyone gets offended. And it's like people are getting offended about stuff now that they weren't offended with years ago. Actually, real quick,
I blame social media for this all.
100%. Yeah, I'll definitely agree.
Everybody thinks they are privileged to what they say and that they can make this huge impact just because they said it. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, back then, Dr. Seuss, everybody loved his children's books. It was edgy, it was different. He was exploring, like,
He's
his
such a fantastic
stories.
artist, though. And I don't
And
know
it's
if
like,
you're
oh,
familiar.
everything going on now, and I have 20,000 followers on Instagram, and I'm telling you, I don't like it, and this is no good. So
Mhm. Well, see, so we were talking about this the other night, and we were talking about Dr. Seuss, and it's funny because when you guys said that, I forgot which book you mentioned, Danny, but like it was the Mulberry Street, I think, or
Yeah,
whatever,
and
when
to
he makes
think I
up the
saw it
story.
on Mulberry Street.
And so in that story, he had said like one of the things that was on him, they said that he said it racist of like it was like Indian person that was on an
There's
elephant
an
or something
Indian
like that.
person on an elephant, and then there was like a Chinese
So
person and like another wagon. Or
I
it pursued
personally
that.
didn't think that was bad. But the other night I was reading a book to Mia and I forgot which book I was reading, but as I was reading it, I was like, wow, yeah, this is a little borderline like offensive. Like I was like, oh, okay, like I could see why Dr. Seuss would be on that book. But there's one person that so it's funny, since this has come out now, I saw a video the other day when I was looking stuff up. Jimmy Kimmel came out now and was like, "Oh, this is so bad. Stars need to see and like know who and where they are and what they're doing and pay attention and not be making these mistakes." And the video cuts to him when he first came out and he's like on the street like doing recordings, and a lot of the stuff that he was saying to women was pretty bad. And then like he had the like I forgot what the skit was, but he did a skit where like he did like a blackface and like this and that. Like so it was funny because he's someone that where people didn't cancel that I feel like he even had a background where, like we were saying, things used to be taken not as seriously or whatever, not as racial or as offensive or whatever. And he was one that was in that group that didn't really get canceled because he kind of changed it up over the years.
Well, okay, so I don't know if maybe you got them mixed up, but Jimmy Fallon had did a skit of blackface in 2000 with Chris Rock, or with Chris Rock's permission, I think.
Oh yeah,
And
I know that,
that's
but no,
and
Jimmy Kimmel did one too.
oh, he did it as well.
Yeah, he had
Well,
a.
first of all, nobody should be doing blackface. That is inappropriate. I told you guys that one time,
Although,
Halloween, a couple years ago. I dressed up as
yeah,
Michael Jackson Thriller, right? And I was a zombie, but my makeup was too evergreen for a zombie. And I was bartending in Bay Ridge at the time, and a lot of people came up to me and they're like, "Dude, what the fuck are you doing?" I was like, "What, Michael Jackson
Do you know who
Thriller?"
you
They're like,
are?
"No, you're Michael Jackson blackface." I'm like, no, that's not it. I ran to the bathroom after like the second or third person told me. I wiped off my makeup a little bit. It still looked like I was a zombie, but it didn't look as good as the makeup that I had. I guess the
well,
lighting and the
apparently the makeup you
darks.
had didn't look as good as you thought.
Well, dude, if you would have seen the picture, it looked on point Thriller. You know what I'm talking about?
I
Like
did.
zombie Thriller. You
I
saw
got a
it.
picture
Blackface Thriller.
personally, and it was freaking amazing.
Oh, I
But
know. I
guess with
remember.
the
I was
lighting,
making
the
a
black
joke.
shadows, and the evergreen makeup, it looked like blackface. So I didn't want to come across that, especially I was in Bay Ridge, I was bartending. I'm not
But
trying to
who's
fuck up
thinking
anyone's
about
night.
that? Like, why are you out and you're thinking about that?
Well,
Instead of looking at it and saying, wow, that kid's makeup is awesome. Why is everybody got to relate it to, oh, it's a racism thing? Why are you painting your face black?
I don't. I
You know what I
mean,
mean? Why are you doing blackface? Like, no, it's Michael Jackson Thriller Zombie.
I mean, I was clearly wearing the whole red getup and everything, but I mean, I don't know. Everyone's got something to say. But again, that brings us back to today. Like, people are offended by things that
Everybody's
are.
on such a high horse lately.
That's it. And everyone has too much emotions and too many feelings, and they get offended easily.
yeah.
And once you get offended by something like that, there's no turning back. Once someone's like, "You're a racist," it's really hard to get out of that category.
I just
I
have to
just
say,
think people are bored nowadays, man. Really.
yeah,
Cancel
be.
culture has always been a thing for like the past couple of years now, but it's never been such a big deal as it is now. It's because everybody's sitting home on their phones and it's like, oh, I don't like this that this person did 25 years ago. Let's cancel him. This is not right.
yeah.
Now, I just want to back up for a second to the books of Dr. Seuss.
Wait, and 99% of the stuff people are being canceled over is shit that's happened so long ago. Nothing, anything relevant to anything recent.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Dr. Seuss's books came out years ago, decades ago. And I grew up on that. Green Eggs and Ham, One Fish, Blue Fish. Those are more of the socially acceptable ones because there's not really much in it. But these are fictional characters that he's drawing and building up for people's imagination. You know, none of them, they say in a lot of like, I guess either music videos or movies, like any relationship to the living or the undead or occult have no relation with what we're trying to get at, and blah, blah, blah. And I feel like even in the book that Frank mentioned before, And to Think I Saw It on Mulberry Street, that's a book about a kid who's sitting on his step, imagining a parade of crazy things you will never think of going down the block. And a lot of these characters are all fictional. None of them are supposed to be, I guess, describing a specific race or nationality. There's fucking cats, there's fish walking, and that's not obviously true. There's a couple other books that were banned. I think it was If I Ran the Zoo, On Beyond Zebra, The Cat's Quizzer, and what is it? Scrambled Egg Supper. I haven't read some of those, but I've checked them out online. I saw a couple of the pictures. Dr. Seuss was an incredible artist, and he had a really dark sense of, I guess, design when it comes to it. I've been to his gallery in California. It's incredible. A lot of his shit is out there. It's
Was
wild.
with you.
You were with me. That's right.
It was.
So
Cool
it's
stuff
but
in there, man.
now they're gonna go and ban all these books now.
I was not
because
thinking
somebody
about
feels
race when I
offended.
was in there looking at it either.
I'm
Right.
not gonna lie, I don't really know any of those books that you mentioned. But I feel like from what you're saying too, it falls along the lines of like Willy Wonka was like the same thing, and I didn't hear anything about him getting canceled.
We'll have pushing Oompa Loompas in the that's totally different. Never mind.
I
don't know
mean,
where I
Oh,
came up with
listen,
Oompa
I
Loompas.
let's not
it's
bring that
just-
up. We don't want to get Oompa Loompas canceled.
real
This is
quick,
something that people don't know about yet, I don't think.
I do want to go back and just mention because when you guys were talking about the blackface and stuff, there is one person that was a white person that did blackface that I just thought was, mwah, and that was Robert Downey Jr. in
In Tropic Thunder.
yeah. I'm sorry,
Was
I
anybody
just
bitching about it then? No.
I don't, and I just thought he was one person that did it so funny.
It
Like
was
I thought it
absolute
was
comedy.
great. It was great. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
No, that was a good one though. And I don't break character till DVD release. That shit was hilarious, you know. But then there you go. Can we repeat comedy that we've heard or saw in the past now? Or is it like now are you going to be considered a racist or offensive because you're just repeating what someone said? You know, that brings another thing. Everyone's so quick to judge. And I just think it's pretty fucked up. Because who's to say who's right and who's wrong? You know, if you have good intentions of it and you're not doing it to be racist, and it just some people perceive it that way, are you
Well-
wrong? Or is that person's judgment a little skewed?
Kind of going off what you said in a minute, can you do stuff like that now? They just did Space Jam 2.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they had to change a whole bunch of shit because Pepe Le Pew now condones rape culture. So
Pepe Le Pew was canceled. Also, that Lola Bunny, they didn't make her to be so sexy.
too
anymore.
sexy?
I mean,
Not sexy enough?
was enough for nothing for an animated bunny. Damn.
Can we just not complain at all about it and just say, holy shit?
They made her a little thicker. She's got cankles now, and she's not wearing like a basketball jersey, if I'm not mistaken. It's more loose, you know, so it's not showing, I guess, a figure of a bunny. I don't know. I don't get it. But it's like,
Well, like a Billie Eilish style, the baggy
Wait.
shirts.
yeah, something like that, similar to that, but other things as well.
So
like
nobody could body sham anymore.
nobody, not even bunnies. You can't body shame a bunny.
I mean,
Um,
there's definitely plenty of things that like obviously are debatable, and that's things that's like, wow, really, I can't believe they're canceling it. But there were definitely some things that were on it that I was like, okay, yes, definitely. Like, I love comedy. I'm a huge fan of Louis C.K.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna say I
Uh-huh.
think he deserved to be canceled for what happened to him in particular because
Right.
his thing wasn't really like terrible compared to
Um,
some other of those like type of sexual allegations
Louis
that people
C.K.
have
got
endured.
it.
Sexual
bad
misconduct
twice.
allegations. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
he was with
wasn't
the
it
Me
just,
Too
like,
movement, and now he's hitting the cancel culture.
but wasn't it just because like he started like whacking off or something like that in his own apartment or something like that, and he announced like before he did it that he was gonna like do that or something like that?
Hey man says he's gonna do something, he's gonna do it.
Really.
I don't know. I'm just saying like
I
I
mean,
feel like there was so many other like there's so many other famous people with sexual allegations that are way worse than what that was. But
Yeah.
again,
Kevin
Bill
something like
Cosby?
that. But my point
Bill
is just
Cosby.
something like that. Sexual allegations, like okay, I can understand someone like that being canceled, or like uh
Well,
Kevin Spacey. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like stuff like that. Like
right.
even the Redskins, the name. I get why they
Washington
wanted that to be.
Redskins. Yeah.
Washington Redskins.
Yeah.
You know,
Apparently, Indians are taking offense that
see,
they're
I think they
naming a
personally.
football
fu-
team Redskins. But what
I
about
think
the
they personally.
Browns? You know what I mean? There's so
Yeah,
much. Everybody, they want to relate it to anything negative.
I just think the Redskins personally should have just changed their mascot to the potatoes,
Right.
because then that would have just been easier.
Better alternative.
Yeah, but somebody would have gotten offended by that. You were just saying something. I had something on the tip of my tongue. You're talking about Louis C.K. A lot of his comedy is raunchy though. It's very directed at sexual things and stuff like that. So to hear like the sexual misconduct allegations, I don't want to say I wasn't surprised, but at the same time, of all the things that he talks about and says, he's a nasty motherfucker. I love him. He's funny as shit. But when he got hit with that, I was like, damn, they got him. Same thing with like Bill Cosby. I don't want to say I grew up watching the Cosby Show, but I was watching it as a kid. And I guess, yeah, real life and entertainment are two totally different things. But you grow up watching all this stuff and you're thinking it's got good values to it, like in family shows, like Family Matters and stuff like that, and now he got canceled, so they took all his stuff off the air. You can't watch it anymore. But what happens to all those other actors and actresses that were in that production? Are they no longer getting residuals either? How does that affect everybody else?
Yeah, it does, especially because he was the star. But I think those two kind of like don't really go together, because Louis C.K. his things went with what happened to him, like you said, like, and not even just because he was joking about Raw and stuff like that. His type of jokes were like making a fun about himself and being awkward sexually and things like that. And it's that.
Yeah.
And then his misconduct was something like that. Whereas like Bill Cosby, nobody suspected that he was like pudding popping girls and freaking like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just no, that was more of a surprise, I feel like. Or it's definitely a surprise for me anyway.
No, he's got a good point. There's a lot of other people that were canceled this year, actually. So something, again, you wouldn't expect it, but like Ellen DeGeneres, she got canceled because apparently she has like a very toxic work environment.
Apparently, she was a bitch.
Yeah, apparently she
like literally.
That shit blew my mind. She's the sweetest
Fucking
person.
cute old Ellen DeGeneres, Dory,
Mhm.
is a bitch behind scenes.
And I don't know. I mean, like I said, everyone's different upon real life and production or entertainment. But I mean, that if you're going to treat your coworkers like shit, or your staff or the people who are under you, it's going to come back and bite you in the ass,
Yeah.
But there are a couple other people that got canceled that I don't even know that they got canceled. I did some research about it. And you can now just be affiliated with somebody and get canceled. Like
Yeah.
Sebastian Stan, the Winter Soldier from Marvel's Avengers. His
Mhm.
girlfriend tweeted something. His girlfriend and her friend were dressed up as Japanese geishas, and they tweeted it. And apparently he either liked it or loved it or said, "You look great, babe." Whatever the case was, nobody wants to follow him, and they canceled him now. J.K. Rowling tweeted a transphobic tweet. Actually, to be honest with you, I don't really follow much of J.K. Rowling. I never got into the whole Harry Potter thing. But now didn't they
In
come
my
out
opinion, J.K. Rowling can say whatever she wants. I still love that lady to
with
death.
now they Dumbledore's gay?
Harry
apparently?
Potter?
Something like
What?
that. Are you familiar with this, Joe?
Yes.
that.
Fantastic
what happened?
Beasts. Apparently, he's gay. I don't know. They gave him a
Oh, so-
storyline to the prequel to
Like the
Harry
prequel of
Potter
it?
that he's gonna have a male love interest.
That's
Did the
weird.
second
People were not
Fantastic-
happy about that.
Did the second Fantastic Beasts come out yet or not yet?
Yes, it did. The second one did come out.
And
Now the
that-
third one, which is supposed to be coming out soon, I think they have something signed for like 4 or 5 scripts, like movies, after the first one came out, and the success was so good. But now the problem is they had what's his name, Johnny Depp as
Oh, yeah.
Grindelwald, who's like the main character in this whole new series, and he's part of the cancel culture because he apparently abused his girlfriend
No,
Amber
it's the other way
Heard and that
around.
whole thing. And now nobody wants Johnny Depp. His freaking, his manager dropped him. All these movies, they took his stuff off, Disney Plus and all those streaming platforms. They literally canceled him,
So
took him off all
I thought-
platforms, all his movies, dropped all his freaking everything.
I thought Amber Heard was abusing him. That's what I read. I read that
there's
it came
some
up in
things-
allegations that he was abusing her, but it turns out that through research and other shit,
She was actually abusing
she was
him.
the one who was physically abusing him. And you could see that in a lot of his interviews. I've done research on this. I saw a couple of YouTube videos. I checked it out. I
Right.
searched online. She was the one who was physically abusing him. And now everyone's backing up Johnny again. Speaking of Disney Plus,
Of course, Johnny has a bad history though. The drugs, and
also-
the partying, and the this and the that, and
he's the bad boy that you love to love, though. You know?
right,
I always
And
looked
again,
like
this
that.
is stuff that's happened 10, 15, 20 years ago, and now all of a sudden it's
I don't
all
think it was that long ago.
Okay,
I don't think it was that long ago.
In the
10, 15,
past
20
10
years ago. Think about it. 10, 15, 20 years ago, he was doing Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Well, 10, 15,
Fantastic
and 20
movie.
years are all like very
Big
wide.
Yeah, no, you're right.
ranges.
That's a wide
You
range.
get
there.
my point though.
Joe's a little exaggerating. This happened 2 weeks ago.
I'm giving myself a wider range of years, so I'm less likely to be wrong.
Joe is like 10, 15, 20. How high can I go before they know?
In
100 years ago.
1976.
They were doing this to Johnny freaking 300 BC. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of Disney Plus, you said they took a lot of his stuff off. I recently watched 4 out of the 5 Pirates of the Caribbean movies, and they took off on Stranger Tides for some reason. I'm not sure why, but the other 4 are still on. And yeah, and you can't find it. I can't find it anywhere. But
Yeah.
besides that,
I wanted to go back and rewatch all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, and they're not all on there anymore. That's one thing that I was like, damn.
Frank,
Because
I have them on
Johnny was
DVD. I'll let you borrow
canceled.
them.
Okay.
Johnny was canceled, but
Johnny's
back-
now offensive to our
well,
kids.
so they banned his shit, and now again getting to
Johnny
Disney
don't
Plus-
exist.
Disney Plus.
Sweeney Todd, really?
Sweeney Todd, what?
No, I'm saying he was Sweeney Todd.
Edward Scissorhands before Sweeney Todd. Let's.
True.
But
Forgot.
Disney Plus is now censoring, I should say, because they banned a few, but they're censoring
So
most of them.
disappointing.
Or there's a screen that comes up and says if your child is under the age of 7, we do not suggest this title or something along those lines. I'm not sure what
Peter
it was.
Pan.
I don't
Don't let
have
your
kids,
kid watch
so-
Peter Pan
Well,
Yeah.
because there's
can't
little
believe that.
Indian boys on an island, and that's offensive.
Well, isn't the
No,
Lost Boys
it's- they're-
technically like a white supremacist group too?
isn't it
Danny, you seem like you know a little more about that.
about white supremacy? No, Joe.
No, I'm talking about why they're censoring Peter Pan.
Is there a lag going on? I don't know if you're hearing me correct.
Is this
And
thing
not
on?
white supremacy.
No, I'm
no,
pretty
well,
sure
the-
that the Lost Boys though is a name of also of a
White supremacy
supremacist
group?
group. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the white boys, Lost Boys are basically
White
they're just
boys.
lost kids. I mean, you could think of it. This is what I'm saying. We're getting into the adult view of it. Think of it as a child. The Lost Boys are a bunch of kids with no moms and dads, like
No, I know.
orphans, and they're running around, jumping ship, running from Captain Hook and everything. But Peter Pan, the reason why they're banning that is because they do portray Indians as red face, 100% Redskins, smoking tobacco and shit like that. Peter Pan has this, I'm going to call it a sensory ban because I don't know if it's banned because you can technically still watch it, but they do have this censor title in the beginning of it. Aladdin as well, animated or live action.
Oh my god,
Because-
Aladdin, Aristocats, Dumbo, so
Mm.
many.
Lady and the Tramp, Swiss Family Robinson. Yeah, all these
Yes.
things.
With Peter Pan though, I get how you're saying like it's an adult point of view. I don't necessarily think it's just an adult point of view. And I know this is a totally different topic, like how we've been talking about behind closed doors. But if you look at it from a what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my god. Conspiracy theory side, there's certain things that like in like child trafficking world, this and that, where like they had certain hidden symbols of this and that in certain things to let people know
Right.
where to contact them, this and that. So to
There's
me, it could be, that's what I'm saying. It's not necessarily an adult point of view, but Lost Boys and like hearing that now later
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
and like
yeah.
it's not because the only reason I know about that was from like a Trump thing when he referenced something about Lost Boys, and then I saw like a TikTok of someone like
Is it
pointing out
Proud
that he
Boys or
was
Lost Boys?
it
Proud
might be
Boys.
Proud Boys. It might be Proud Boys. You might be right.
That's like that
Okay, you might be right. I don't
right
know.
wing movement,
But so yeah, so
whatever
that's
the
why I was
fuck
like,
all
oh,
that
maybe
means.
that's how it would come in like conspiracy theory or whatever. But you might
Well,
be right now. I could have that mixed up too.
to bring up conspiracy theories, Disney is known for having a lot of subliminal
Yeah, a
messages in
lot.
their movies. Off the top of my head, you have Ariel, not Ariel, Little Mermaid. There's a picture
Oh,
of a
the
gold
castle, yep.
dildo
The
right on the
gold
front
penis
VHS
apparently
cassette.
right on the castle.
Yeah, and they get into it. When they're on the boat and the Vanessa, the Ursula turns into human form, is going to marry Prince Eric. The Pope apparently has a boner, but they said it was his knee. But like, come on, we know what's really going on. Same thing with Lion King. When Mufasa sits on the edge of the mountain and you see like the dust come up, it says SEX in the stars. Even in Aladdin, you could check it out on YouTube. But when Aladdin and Princess Jasmine, right before they go on the
He
car
whispers
Joe.
something to her,
yeah,
right?
he
Joe, I'm
says,
sorry. I didn't mean to get him going. I'm sorry.
"No, it's on."
Yeah, I
now."
know. Here we go. Here we go. See, Frank, you should have learned from last week.
Apparently, when the genie is a bee and he whispers in Aladdin's ear, he goes, "Just be yourself."
Mhm.
They say something, and I think you could overhear it. It says, "Good boys and girls take off their clothes," and you could really hear it when it says shit like that. It's fucked
Really?
up. Yeah.
That's
And
crazy.
you really got to listen for it. And I have the DVD. I have every DVD of Disney anyway. But you really look into it. You go back, even if you want to slow it down. They have in The Rescuers Down Under, when the two mice are going down on the like can airplane, you could see a still frame of a naked woman in one of the windows, and it's clear as day that it was put in there on purpose. There's
Wow.
a lot of things that Disney has done. They use a lot of number 666 for like satanic shit, and they're always doing like the devil worshiping hands, and a lot of their things. Beauty and the Beast, the three blondes that are always over like fighting over Gaston, they're always doing stuff like that. But
Wow.
anyways, we're getting off topic here.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean. That's what I'm saying. I didn't mean to get you all
You got
under
me
like
on a
that
rant
stuff.
going.
But no, but my point was just to bring it in is exactly like there's certain things that
You won't realize as a kid that you realize as adults. And
yeah.
like you were saying, sorry to cut you off, but yes, we're looking at it now from the adult point of view because we're adults, and now we're seeing that it's bad, opposed to watching it as a kid. You're like, yeah, I love Peter Pan. Oh, Lion King's the shit.
So
So-
by going off what you just said, should these shows be canceled? Like
Well, that's
being
Well,
as an
who-
adult now, do you
who-
want your kid to see that even though they're not going to see it in that way? You know what I mean? How would you feel about that?
Who is to say what is right and what is wrong?
well.
I mean,
see,
I
on
guess
that
when it comes
point,
down to an animated movie and a parent showing it to them, it would be the parent.
I guess
Right.
so. Because it's their child, and they should be the one filtering what their kids are watching and not watching.
But they don't even
Like,
have that option because this stuff is automatically canceled and not available.
Right, because
for
all
them
these
to-
CEOs of these big companies, they have the responsibility now to be like, oh my God, do I want to fall under that category of I allow people to, watch this type of stuff? So you got the CEO of Disney and you get the CEO of Netflix, and they're getting all their team and they're saying, yeah, listen, we got to go with the flow here. So we're going to cancel all this shit because everybody's going to freak out on us and call us, haters of whatever it is. Call me racist or say that we promote,
that's it. People
bad
are just
shit to
really
their
quick.
kids.
They're quick to judge something that's classic or published like decades ago, rather than banning music and violent video games and shit today. Like, you're going to cancel all this stuff and say that it's not family friendly. But then a couple weeks ago on the Grammys, you got fucking Cardi B singing WAP with the other girl, and they're like scissoring on stage, making out and shit.
Yeah.
Come on.
Pretty cool
Come
performance, in
on.
my opinion.
No, I hear
Yeah,
you.
well, it's because it's all
A
CGI,
little
bro. But
raunchy,
but that's
but
what I'm saying. Like, you're gonna
should
sit
your
down with
12-year-old really be
family.
watching that?
Dude,
They
these
have so
tweens
many-
on TikTok are fucking shit
Yep.
up.
I was just gonna say they have
Go
so
for it,
many
Frank.
sounds of Cardi B on TikTok with so many hundreds of thousands and millions of people that are doing these dances. It's insane. So like they're canceling all this stuff, but that stuff's okay. I don't get it. I don't.
It's
get
not
it.
cool, man.
I
It's
don't
not
get it.
cool. But how does that affect our children and the past generations that grew up with these cancel cultures? Like moving forward now, because
What's
now
it
it's
gonna
being
do?
brought to light.
Yeah, what's it gonna do
happen to
moving
the kids in the
forward?
generation? Are we censoring too much? Are we censoring? Are we not censoring enough? Or the right and the wrong things? You're right.
I mean,
If
see, I feel like there's been over a long time a lot of people saying that, oh, you're not censoring stuff enough. Like, look at how young girls are dressing differently now than compared to when we were younger. You know what I
Right.
mean? Definitely see
But
like 12 to 15-year-old girls dancing a lot more worse now than they were when they were 12 to 15, when we were 12 to 15. So I definitely think like, yeah, stuff could be filtered a little better, and maybe cancel culture isn't necessarily bad like that. But again,
I just
I
isn't
think
I
that
it's
really
don't
the
kind of
parents'
I think
job?
it's
Like,
kind of I think it's kind of ironic just in the name cancel culture because you know our future generations literally we're canceling culture. Nobody's going to learn any type of culture because everybody's going to be so hesitant to post
saying.
about anything or say anything or talk about it.
Well,
It's like, oh,
mhm.
people in this country do it this way, and it's like, our kids will never get to know that shit. They're gonna
If
miss a lot of like, we're cultured if you really think about it.
yeah,
All the
but
yeah,
music we've listened to, the TV shows we've gone through, we're at like that bar right now at the top, and it's like now we want to cancel it. Kids growing up are gonna be so just fucking flatlined, and it's like they're gonna have no range of like how things are done,
well,
in
how
see,
this
far is
no,
too
part of
far
the
though?
world or that
I
part of
don't
the
think
world.
that they won't have a range. I think that it kind of goes into kind of when you were first starting off, it kind of goes into a cycle. Like, you know how certain things wrap around and come around after a certain amount of decades and become like popular again, famous again, this, and that, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
fads
Maybe
that
this
were in
is
the
just
past and
that
they come
type
back
of
up.
cycle going through, because if it happens that way, everybody gets too offended, this and that. In another 10 years or so, comedy starts to get bigger again. TV shows, skit comedies, this and that. People start breaking that barrier again, and people start laughing. Oh my God, this and that. You start having those like Chris Rocks and
You
all
become
the
numb to it though, and then it
well,
becomes popular again.
well, that's what I was going to say. So it's like
Hopefully.
it doesn't come around for a while because too many people are scared and sensitive to talk about it. But then you have certain people that start breaking the limits and breaking the rules again, and this and that, and like Richard Pryor's and this and that coming out again in the future, and then it goes full circle, and now comedy comes around again, and this and that. So I don't know. Maybe it's something of just that full circle coming around again.
I mean, I do feel like at what point are we becoming closer to like socialism and totalitarianism by censoring what people are saying and hearing? We're no longer a generation of free thinkers if we're not able to speak our mind. Does this happen to violate our freedom of speech now? Like what's going on with this?
I don't
Also,
think it
it does
violates
feel
it. It just
well,
because you could still say it. It's just what you're
then you're gonna
saying
get
is going
banned.
to
You're gonna get
affect you.
canceled.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. But that's, I mean, I guess I don't know.
I
So
don't know. I just to me it seems like the 2020s are becoming a lot more like 1984 than we ever would have imagined. George Orwell really fucking had something going on up there. Think about it. This is a little off topic, but you got cameras everywhere. You got sensors everywhere. They're burning books in certain states. You're not allowed to read certain books. It's just ridiculous. What's really going on? The generation that's going to be the ones that are going to be supporting us when we're older and another 20, 30 years from now, they're not going to know what the fuck to do. And it just seems like our generation is leaving a mess for the next generation.
Yeah, it's funny. Like you think about it now, it's like we're looking at our parents and like trying to show them how to fucking work a computer or how to use a phone. I feel like, whatever's ahead of us in the future, we're gonna still be the ones teaching, the younger kids, because I don't think they're just gonna have too much.
But it also, not to, are you done? You had something else to say.
No, 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 go ahead.
Like, are we going too far by censoring things where people aren't going to even have an opinion about something anymore? Are they going to be afraid to say what they want to say? That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah,
yes,
you're right.
yes and no. But I also don't think necessarily so, because certain things, even in schools, like they don't teach cursive handwriting anymore, because
Yeah,
by the time that certain little kids are going to be older, they're not going to have to use a signature. Things will be like that, will be obsolete,
electronic and
to
shit.
where it'll be like exactly electronic fingerprint or eye scanner or stuff like that, because that's what they're expecting to be around by that time. So they're not even teaching them cursive anymore. So
But
are you going to know how to work stuff like that? They're probably going to have to show you how to work stuff like that.
no,
Like,
that's true. You have to kind of go
so
along with the times.
like my kids, I'm sorry, there's some things that like my 3-year-old does on the iPad. I'm like, how'd you do that? And like, it's just amazing. Or my
I
little
mean,
one
you're
grabbed
retarded,
Karen's phone
so
the
that's
other.
just not.
I'm just whatever. Hey, watch the words.
Oh
Um,
shit.
but no, um,
Language.
but no, I mean, even like my little one, she's 16 months old. She grabbed Karen's phone the other day and found YouTube Kids by herself and started watching videos. 16 months old. Like, she's great with technology. It's crazy. Like, So I don't know if
She
they're
can show you how to
necessarily doomed in
FaceTime.
a sense, but I mean, I don't know.
It just, to me, it seems like everybody these days, you really have to walk on eggshells. People are getting
Yes.
offended way too easily. Think about it like this. Every kid is getting a participation trophy now just for participating. And like
Yeah.
that's going to determine how people are motivated in their life, because there are winners and there are losers. And it's, when it comes to sportsmanship, as long as you walk away with good sportsmanship, if you lost, that's what it is. You wait till the next game. You play harder because you want to win next time. Now, if everyone's going to get a trophy just for showing up, why are they going to work hard if they're like, oh, I'm going to get a trophy anyway?
Mhm.
Teachers aren't allowed to use red pen anymore because apparently kids are getting offended by it. But I think it's just the parents who are just a little
Dude,
fucked
I
up.
know. I just found out about that the other day. Someone at work told me
Yeah,
that. I was like, "What? That's a
This is
thing?"
really a thing right now.
it's a
Yeah,
thing.
dude.
No red pen.
If my
Oh
kid came
my
home and they
God.
had stuff wrong and there was no red
It's a
pen, I
joke.
would put it on. I will put it on for them. I swear to God, that was a thing when I was a
What's the
kid. I
reasoning
got
for this?
so many red pen marks on my papers. No, that is not fair.
What's the
It's
offense?
The offense here, if I'm not mistaken, is that if everyone's grading, let's say you're in a class of 20 kids, right? And everybody gets their test back and you don't have a lot of red marks on your paper. And I look at yours and Joe, he doesn't have a lot of red marks on his paper, but then Frank has a lot of red marks on his. Apparently the kids are like, oh, you're stupid. You don't know this, because they just see more red marks. And then kids are starting to bully each other because they're
Mhm.
not understanding the curriculum. But then again, here you go. If you don't
Because these
understand the
kids aren't
curriculum,
cultured.
if you don't
Wait, I
understand the
just.
curriculum, then you shouldn't have to just be pushed
Is
to
my
the next
point.
grade. There's this
Mhm.
whole no kid left behind program now. And
Because
that's where
participation.
that's it. If you don't know if you don't know the answers to the test in the 7th grade, you're going to go to 8th grade anyway. And then when you're in 8th grade, now you don't know what you learned in 7th grade because you didn't grasp it. You didn't understand it. I just feel like this
Oh,
cancel culture thing has some benefits where it comes to opening people's eyes about what is offensive truly. But then again, people are taking advantage of it and just trying to knock people out. The idea
absolutely.
of something, is getting canceled. And I think that's where we're wrong as a society.
So I just looked it up, red pen offensive, and it says it was actually implemented in 2008. So this has been around for 12 years. I didn't know
12
about this either,
years.
Joe. So it
Holy
says
shit.
teachers should stop using red pens to mark homework and tests because it could upset school children. US researchers say in 2008, hundreds of schools banned teachers from using red ink to correct work because they considered it confrontational and threatening.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
Okay, dude. Okay.
But then again, now is this our mentality because we grew up with the red pen and now this is who we've become, and now they don't want our kids to feel like, are we desensitizing it is what I'm trying to get at. We don't want these kids to feel a certain way or make them feel not as intelligent as other people. But at the same time, you need to be studying. You need to be making sure you understand it. If you don't understand it, ex-parent. If parent doesn't understand it, they got to write to the teacher and be like, listen, my kid doesn't get this.
Get a
I don't
tutor.
get this.
Get some extra help. Like, I don't know.
Make that extra effort. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
can't
wouldn't
believe
pass you
that.
guys if you were in my class. If I was the teacher and you were dumb as shit, you fucking sitting after class. You're gonna learn today. You gonna learn today. That's it,
Yes,
man. I don't
it's
know. Cancel
crazy.
culture. Ain't that some shit?
Crazy stuff. I mean, I don't like I said though. I don't think it necessarily means a cancels culture is a violation of freedom of speech because there's still plenty of people that like you said, South Park, this and that, where like haven't necessarily been canceled. I think it's more so to be like, okay, someone like Jimmy Fallon, or well, not really Jimmy Fallon because that was just like the one skit, but like Ellen DeGeneres, perfect example. So someone like her, they're like, she's trying to play herself so sweet to you, but this is really what she looks like. That's something I can get
It's put your
behind for
agenda
cancel
type of
culture
thing. Yeah.
because yeah, it's like, listen, this isn't who she really is. Or someone that's like getting called out like Louis C.K. or something, whatever. This is something that happened that you guys don't know about, that like whatever. That I could understand. But like you said, there's so many people that are taking it too far and that are just like using it to their advantage or whatever because they just wanted this stuff to get canceled or it was in their way that they felt it was offensive. But
Yeah.
there was one thing that I did hear about Ellen DeGeneres that so there's certain things in certain episodes that she like gives prizes away to certain people and she'll give things away.
Always.
Right.
I think
There
every
was
show
certain
she does that.
there was certain people that were like getting some of the things and selling them online. So she did a
Mm.
skit on one of her episodes where she had her crews going to the people's house. So like, let's say she gave someone like, I don't know, some figurine or whatever, and they posted it online to sell it. Her people would go to the house like they wanted to buy it, and then ask them on camera like, "How come you're selling what Ellen gave you?" So like, I could see why she could be kind of confrontational or whatever, because why would you even do that? Like you, like,
But
Let's
it's
be
their
honest.
business.
Wait.
but that's
Not
what I'm
their
saying.
business.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
Like,
if they want to sell what they got, who cares? It's like when you go to a baseball game and when they're walking into the dugout, he throws you up the baseball gloves and you want to sell them on eBay because that's a collectibles item. It's like you're gonna get mad at him, like, why are you selling his shit? It doesn't.
That's what I'm saying.
It's your shit now. He gave it to you. You
Mhm.
want to get rid of it? You get rid of it.
no, I agree. I can't believe that. I feel like that's none of their business to even like Ellen and them to do any of that. But like I said, they had a skit on something like that, so I could see where I guess she did have a toxic work environment, because that's something where you could kind of see a peak of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
That's gonna get you mad. Then don't give people shit. Be nice a different way.
Yeah. No, I hear that.
Well, that's it. All right. Well, that's cancel culture for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty much everything.
Yeah, shit.
mm,
I want to
else-
just take this time real quick to thank everybody who has been listening and supporting. I've gotten a lot of great feedback from everything. Thank you so much for listening. It's been fun. I'm enjoying this.
Thank you.
Yeah, guys, thank you. Please, again, I know Facebook has been our best so far. Guys, please go follow us on Facebook. Check out our Instagram page. Follow us on Instagram.
YouTube.
YouTube is definitely one where, yeah, please help us out on YouTube. We are going to start posting the videos of our episodes on YouTube. So guys, look out for that. Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. And yeah, and then like I said, our email,
TikTok.
specialist of email, specialist of
have
something
Specialists
at
of
Gmail.
nothing. Let's say
At
this one
Gmail.
more time clearly.
My bad. Specialists of nothing at gmail.com. And yes, go check out our
Get it
TikTok
right.
too.
We'd love
Yeah.
to hear from you guys. Thank you for the feedback.
Yes, absolutely. Thank everybody.
All of us here. Have a good night.
Having a good night.